what's going on? Brendan Johnson here, just on my late evening drive home. I want to tell you a little story that happened to me this morning. I was heading into the dealership and going down the highway. It's on the freeway, the interstate, and I noticed a car sitting on the shoulder. Well, I get in the other lane, kind of check it out, just make sure there's nobody there needing help or anything. Didn't see nobody. So I drove on past it, and about a quarter of a mile or so on down in front of that car was a man walking. So kind of slowed down, checked him out. You know, clean cut guy, jeans, polo shirt tucked in. You know, it's pouring down rain. So what the heck? I pulled over, waited on him, offered him a ride. Well, come to find out, he'd ran out of gas. He was about a mile and a half away from the next exit. So I hitched him a ride to the exit, and he had a milk jug in his hand that had been crushed. It looked like a dog had chewed on it. It had a bunch of holes in it. So I didn't have a gas can. He didn't have a gas can. All he had was this milk jug. And we get to the gas station. He tries to reshape the milk jug as best he can. Fills it as full as he can, and there's gasoline pouring out of this milk jug as fast as he's putting it in. It's got like 4 or 5 holes in it. He puts it in the back of the truck, and there's gasoline going all in the back of my truck. So we find another bottle. He puts gas in it. So by the time he puts it in the truck, in the back of the truck, and it's leaking everywhere, pouring gasoline everywhere, we get back up the interstate to where his car is. We might have a half a gallon of gas at this time to put in his car. And mind you, he's driving a hybrid. So we'll get to that in a minute. So anyways, we put a half a gallon in his car, which is not even enough to get it cranked again. So we head back to the exit, scrounging around trying to find something to put some more gas in, and he finds an empty gallon jug at the gas station. So he fills it up, puts it in the back of the truck. We head back to his car. Again, it's pouring down rain. So we get the gas put back in his car. It still won't crank. This is where the hybrid comes in. So I'm not too familiar with hybrids. Very familiar with cars. Familiar with hybrids, but not in this area. So anyways, he turns it on, it won't do anything. So earlier when I picked him up and we were having a conversation, he said his wife had told him not to let the car get so low on gas because he's done it before. She kept telling him, if you let it get too low, one day it's going to catch up and you're going to run out of gas. Guess what? Today was his day. So anyways, we're trying to figure out how to get this car going. Well, fortunately for us, smartphones and Google, Google says to remove the 5 amp fuse that is on the battery cable that's located in the trunk. Okay? Well, we tinker with it. Unsuccessful in removing the 5-amp fuse. And keep in mind too, we have no tools to work with. I've got a pocket knife and that's it. So our only alternative is to either call for help, wait on somebody to get there in the pouring down rain, or figure out a way to get that battery cable disconnected from the battery. So I play music, and I had played a show the weekend before, so I had all of my drum gear inside my truck. I went back to the truck, and I was parked about 50-60 yards away just to make sure traffic moved over, and there was some of the traffic coming down the interstates running 70 and 80 miles an hour. I understand some people can't move over into the other lane, but when you're standing on just to the outside of the white line on the interstate and cars are driving by at 70 and 80 miles an hour, it's pretty scary. So anyways, I went back to my truck and just happened to find under my drum gear a small folder that I've had for about 20 years that was full of little bitty pliers. So what took us about an hour and a half from the time that I picked him up, got gas in the car, and had to make 2 trips to the gas station and back, plus figuring out how to get this 5-amp fuse off the battery cable, which we were unsuccessful at. Finally found some tools in my truck to get that battery cable off and disconnected, so the car, it's a hybrid, so that car could reset. We connected the battery cable and the car finally cranked up. So, moral of the story is, always have an empty jug in your car for such occasion. One, whether you run out of gas and need a jug to put gas in. 2, that jug can also be used for water in case your engine was to overheat from being low in water. You would have a jug to put water in. But the moral of the story, if your spouse says, do not let your fuel gauge get too low or take a chance on running on E, one day it will bite you and you will run out of gas. Don't let it get on E. Always put gas in it before it gets on E. The man that I picked up today is a super nice guy. His name was Jim Money. We made a pretty good connection, had really good conversation, made friends. So now today he's got to go home and tell his wife that she was right and that he will not let that car get on E again. So anyways, I hope everybody has an amazing evening. Don't let your car get on E. Put gas in it. There's a gas gauge there for a reason. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.